Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Commander Training. My name is Scoundrel, and welcome to this video talking about 2 platform and 3 platform maps in Command & Conquer Rivals. This video is brought to you by Game Changers from EA, and EA do sponsor this video. So the 2 main forms of maps that you're going to see when you play Command & Conquer Rivals is 2 platform and 3 platform maps. Maps will vary wildly in aesthetic. They'll have different impassable objects, they will have different Tiberium locations, and most importantly, will have different control point layouts too. In general though, the main form of map difference is going to be the 2 platform versus 3 platform layout, and this will change the way that you approach these maps significantly, as they generally tend to have slightly different tactical approaches. Let's start with the 2-point maps. 2-point maps are a little bit more simple to comprehend than 3-point maps. You'll notice that there are obviously only 2 points. The first thing to take note of is where those points are, how close they are to each other, and what is in between them. You'll also want to look at your Tiberium locations. Tiberium locations will let you know if it's okay to try and approach your opponent's harvester for free, or how safe you have to keep your own harvester. You need to have a look at the impassable objects because they will affect your pathing and your points of attack, and you need to know the primary route at which you're going to attack and at which your opponent is going to attack. 2-point maps, you must either control both points or control one point and contest the other to make sure that the missile is going in your favor. It's really important to have counters set up properly on these types of maps. Every single unit counts, including your harvesters. They can be very useful in controlling or contesting points. And often in these maps, the best offense is setting up a good defense first. If you have an impassable wall protecting your own point on your side of the map, it's going to be much easier to attack your opponent's point. Let's take a look at a game on a 2-point map that I played recently. I decided to go for a very early harvester rush, and I started to see him pump out counters straight away. Now, he started to use his special ability, he's going to chase down my attack bikes. I go back towards his base to get some info and read on what he is actually building. I noticed that he started to build a lot of tanks, so I'm going to start pumping up my cyborgs, which are really good against tanks. I'm going to set up my defense on this point here on the bottom side of the map. That will be my defensive point. And then for the most part, I'm going to be pushing forward and playing around that point. I have a small attack on the top side of the map, and I leave my cyborgs there, and he continues to try and counter them with the wrong kind of units, just trying to pump out those tanks over and over again. At this point, I'm now strangling his economy, and I know that the main form of pathing that he's going to take to have to contest the point on my side of the map is through those Tiberium patches that you can see my cyborgs sat on right now. I know that my cyborgs counter both his harvesters and the predators that he's putting out. I'm going to leave them there, stopping him from having a good attack on my defensive point on my side of the map, and by attacking the top side and preventing him from getting any units onto it, I take the victory. Alright, now looking at 3-point maps. 3-point maps all vary in terms of layout, and the aesthetics can be quite different, but the thing that they require most over a 2-point map is more reactivity. You need to be more maneuverable and more flexible. Again, take a look at the map layout when you get onto it. Where are the points? Where are the Tiberium patches? And of course, where are the impassable objects that are going to affect your pathing when moving between all of your objectives? 3-point maps require a different win condition, as you might expect. You need to control 2 out of 3 of the points, or you control 1 and contest 2. Remember, contest is when you turn the point yellow by both you and your opponent having units on that same point. In these types of game modes, contesting at the right time can win you games. Timing is key. Sometimes you can contest a point knowing that you're going to lose, or by just putting a harvester on it and it'll win you the game. You need to be reactive and flexible on 3-point maps. Maneuverability and the ability to sort of change your unit setup is incredibly important. So this is a game that I had earlier on this particular map, and again, when I have GDI, I like to get my jump troopers out and threaten his harvesters. Now, this does some immediate damage to his economy, and I get a double whammy because I saw he went for a double harvester start, and a double harvester start means it's very unlikely that he's going to pump out any counters to my units before I've done sizable damage to the economy. And you can see here that I've basically taken out 4 harvesters by the time he comes around to dealing with me, which to be honest, in most situations is GG, but this guy had a deck that made it very difficult for me, and it was that particular special ability, the Obelisk of Nod. I had no real units that were any good at contesting that, and that actually gave him huge presence in this game. Now, because of that early economy contest and because I took down his harvesters, I was able to get the first missile for free because he wasn't able to get enough units out. He didn't really have the Tiberium. When he started to catch up, things got a little bit more dicey. He started putting out very heavy counters to me and actually did some serious damage. I very quickly realized that my deck was not going to contest his on a pound-for-pound basis. I just didn't have the proper units to deal with the Obelisk of Nod, and to be honest, air superiority was completely in his control. So, the way that I realized that I was going to win this was literally just by camping the forward points. Zone Troopers survived the best versus the Obelisk, and you can see I just went upwards and forwards and made it difficult for him to path directly onto that top point. You can see there's no way of him getting onto that top point. That wasn't able to contest it, and as long as I maintained control of my bottom defensive point on the left, I won. And that's often what 3-point maps can be about: timely contests and body blocking. Hope you enjoyed this video, and see you soon for more Commander training.